What's up, guys? I know it's been forever since I've been on YouTube, and I apologize. I'm not gonna really give you guys an explanation or anything, but before I bore you to death, I do wanna kinda explain how this video is gonna work and how my future videos will work. Every video from now on, I'm gonna try to start the video off in like the first few minutes. It's gonna be some sort of informational stuff. So in this case, it's gonna be a tutorial about a drill that I think has helped a lot of the people I coach with their squat and their bar path, hence the title. In future videos, maybe another type of tutorial or a talk about programming, really whatever you guys want to see. So let me know down below in the comments what you'd like me to talk about in that section. I'm also going to have a chunk of my training footage where I'll probably voice that over and let you guys know how my training is going. In this case, I'm going to kind of give you guys a general training update. And then probably toward the end of every video, I'm going to include some stuff about, I don't know, like my philosophy or like just general life stuff. And I realize that that's a really important way that I've connected with you in the past, and I apologize for being absent, but I do really think that the break did me well. I felt like I really needed it. But I am glad to be back online now. But like I said, guys, if you have any suggestions for future videos, or if you want to see anything in particular, all you gotta do is let me know. You know, I'm not super creative, so it does help to have suggestions. Anyway, on to the informational stuff. I'm gonna be talking about a drill called the parallel rack squat. Like I said, I've used it in the past to help a ton of people with their bar path. It's a very intuitive drill. It's a pain in the ass to set up. And fair warning, the clips that I recorded for this, these are a few months old. I recorded it when I initially planned on getting back online, and I just never did it. But they're a few months old and the audio is not great, but we'll try to make do with what we got. So you can see how like this side of the bar is forward, this side is back, and then Jose, do you want to come around back? Yeah. Take a look at that bar tilt. So he's got some right-left asymmetry as well as that upward-downward asymmetry. So we're working on a drill called a parallel rack squat. Kevin, you can rack it. Alright, so this drill, the idea is that like no matter how you build your squat or how you construct your technique, the one thing that should always be true is that your bar should be over your center of balance. And we can generally approximate your center of balance over the middle of your foot or your midline, right? It might be different, like if you're really short, it might be closer to your heel, but for now, let's assume your normal height, we're gonna say that's midline. So the parallel rack squat, essentially, all we're gonna do is set up a bar where it's either too high for you, or you can just grab the bar empty from somewhere else, put it on your back. We just need to make sure that the rack itself is clear so there's no obstructions. You will get under the bar, rack it. The idea is that we wanna set my midfoot, so wherever the middle of my foot is, that's gonna be about, let's say 2 inches away from the upright of the rack on either side. Same thing with the bar, about 2 inches away from the upright of the rack on either side. My goal now is going to be to squat down and come back up without hitting the rack, and we'll see if I actually can. And then over time, as you get better, you'll start even closer, so like, you know, maybe an inch away, all the way down and back up, and rinse and repeat. So you can see, you get immediate feedback, right, when the bar hits. You can tell when you get that bar rotating, or, I mean, in this case, you're definitely rotating like, can you stop real quick? Oh, you get the bar rotating kind of like this way, right? You feel it hitting? So you have to adjust, make sure your torso doesn't rotate as you descend. Try again. So still a little bit on the left side, right? Yeah. Disclaimer, Jose is not wearing his squat shoes, so that's his excuse.
Yeah, so that right there, you know, I'm not gonna be able to squat 500.
Just stop there so I can kind of show what we're talking about. So notice right here, if you look at his bar in relation to midfoot, he's got his bar probably out over his toes right now. So this parallel rack squat will make it very apparent. Go ahead, back up, then all the way up to the rack. So, you know, same thing. So you're gonna get your midfoot about 2 inches away. That's a little too far, a little too far. There should be about good. Get your bar equal distance on both sides. All right, now try to come all the way down and back up. See if you can. Right?
I end up hitting it like immediately.
But it's nice though, because it's fairly intuitive. Like you can tell immediately when you hit. You make a little bit of an adjustment.
Man, it's pretty hard.
Hold on. So right now, what you've got is your foot is real far back, your bar is real far forward, so you're cheating a little bit. Let it be hard. All right, so this next time, same thing. The reason that that's happening is like you're letting go of your glutes a little too early, so keep that glute tension. That'll keep your torso a little more upright.
I'm gonna be hitting it.
So Jose's gonna work on that, but the basic idea is the same. No matter if you're high bar squatting, low bar squatting, Olympic squatting, powerlifting squatting, whatever you're doing, kind of the same deal. But it should apply to all squats, whether it's a front squat, back squat, whatever. If you're squatting, that principle remains the same, that you want to keep that bar over your center of balance. Ready? Let's try. Come on. Let's go. Yes. Oh, me too. Okay, I won't. Guys, she's never done any kind of bench pressing before the barbell. This is her first time. Okay, so if you guys are wondering who this fine specimen is, don't worry, I will talk more about her later in this video, so stick around for that. But I wanted to update you with my training. So last time we spoke, last time you saw me on YouTube, I was having a hard time with training because I only had like 30 or 40 minutes a day to train, despite living across the street from a gym. It was a shitty LA Fitness, and I hated it. But you know, I did what I could with my training. Since then, since moving back to NorCal, I'm training again at Olympus Sports Coliseum, which you guys are familiar with, I'm sure, and I've been loving it. Because my work, one of my business places is like literally right next to it. I get to train more frequently now, and I can spend longer. And I don't work 110-hour weeks anymore, so I devote a lot more time to my training. I just feel like, you know, I got to take care of myself. I can't prioritize my business over my own health. But yeah, so basically my training for the longest time has been like this. I'll choose a squat variation, a deadlift variation, and a bench variation, and program for, you know, at least one, but, you know, probably a few cycles with those variations. Of course, accessory work mixed in. I'm kind of prioritizing bodybuilding because I do want to eventually get back on stage before I come back to powerlifting. Yeah, so basically, in the most recent training cycles, I've been probably for like 8 to 10 cycles training my front squat as my main variation.
Come on, Tyler.
My bench was dumbbells for a while, but then I ended up switching over to the barbell because we don't have heavy enough dumbbells for me because I'm so strong. I'm joking, but I mean, we really did run out of dumbbell weight. So deadlift variation, it was RDLs for the longest time, and then maybe like a little bit of conventional work here and there. I didn't really want to work up to sumos because they take me super long to warm up and get up to my working sets. But recently I've switched back because I missed it, and the numbers aren't too bad. I mean, I'm definitely not as strong as I was when I was competing in powerlifting, but we're looking at like a low 600s max for my deadlift. What I am really excited about here, though, is you can see me moving 365 fairly easily. This is the first time I've ever touched this weight in my entire life, and it's moving fast. At the end here, you'll see me hit 365 for a set of 5. That's my final set. Wasn't a plus set, it's just I was combining 2 sets into 1. But I do plan on testing my front squat in a little bit, probably at the end of the current training cycle, and I'm hoping to get between probably 420 and 435. I'd be super stoked about that. I'm curious where I'm at. And then once I'm done with that max test, I'll probably go ahead and switch over to high bar, and then maybe back to low bar after that. Who knows? But yeah, training's been going really well. I've been really enjoying my training, the way it's structured. I have a lot of fun in training. Me and my training buddies, we occasionally do like stupid challenges afterward where we'll choose like an activity or an exercise that we're all bad at, and we'll try to see who is the least bad. As far as progress goes, my strength on the lift set I'm focused on, it's been going, you know, really well. And as far as my physique goes, I currently wake up at like 192, 193-ish, which is the heaviest I've ever been at this body comp. I'm still fairly lean, and I'll try to get maybe like a physique update for you guys at some point. Not in this video though. But yeah, I am bigger than I've ever been. More muscular for sure. I'm not sure if I'm stronger than I've ever been. Definitely not on the big 3. I think my bench might be stronger. My squat, I have no idea because I don't know how the front squat might carry over to my back squat. Deadlift, I'm certainly weaker, but I'm kind of okay with that. I'm really enjoying my training, guys, and it's been good. But yeah, that's it for this training update. I hope you guys, hopefully you enjoyed it, and yeah.
Yeah, that was 5, and the battery didn't die.
Come on. Oh man, I really need to find my tripod. Alright, so now is the part of the video where I'm honestly a little bit nervous about talking about this at all. Kind of mostly because, I guess out of respect of my current situation and relationship, I don't want to make my significant other feel uncomfortable or anything. And also because I know that in the past I've shared almost everything with you guys and I've put almost everything online. And, you know, as I've gotten older in my 23 years of wisdom, I think that there are definitely some things that don't belong online, and I don't want to my entire personal life out there. And I apologize if that's what you guys want. It's just not something that I'm willing to do anymore. But anyway, the short version of this whole thing is that last time you guys saw me online on YouTube, I was living in Southern California. I was training like really poorly, as you guys heard in the training update. I was really working hard on building up my businesses, and that all went well, but I was also with a girl at the time that you guys are all familiar with, and we're no longer together. Like we broke things off probably about a year or a little more than a year ago now. I ended up moving back to NorCal to be closer to my engineering business. I actually live like 5 minutes away, which is really nice, and the engineering business happens to be literally next door to the gym that I train at, so that's awesome. But yeah, so I moved back and everything. I'm in Sacramento, at least for the time being. Things will change in a little bit. And then, yeah, you guys heard the whole thing about training. Probably the biggest change is that you guys will have to meet Christine at some point. I can't wait for you guys. Well, hopefully she'll let me put her on the channel. We'll see. But I'll put a picture of her, boom, here. But yeah, Christine's great. She and I have been together for 6 months, since November 14th. That's the day we met. And man, I guess the philosophical part of this video is going to be me talking about not necessarily our relationship. Like I said, I don't want to get too personal, but more so about, I guess, something that I've learned about relationships and love. For those of you out there who, you're probably all around my age, I'm assuming you're watching this. You might be going through something similar, and hopefully this will be helpful for you. But I think that being with Christine has really shown me, or proven to me, the importance of, I guess, what you'd call like love language or similarity. Like there's definitely, I'm like stealing this idea from somebody. I'm sorry because I can't remember who it is. Like maybe it was like a video that I watched, or something that I read online. This idea though of love language, where basically different people perceive or receive and give love differently. And there's so much variety there. Like some people might do it, like a good example is some people might perceive or receive love in the form of gifts. Like if you probably know somebody like that, where if you buy them a really great gift that they really wanted, that's how they know that you love them. Some other people, it might be touch. Like maybe they need to be hugged or kissed or held to be able to feel like they're loved. Other people, maybe it's words of affirmation. They want to hear that you love them. They want you to say that you care about them, and so on. And the list goes on. There's any number of different examples, and there's so much variety there. But because there's so much variety there, I think that often causes issues with people. And it's not necessarily just the way that you give or receive love. I also think it's the way that, or I guess what you're looking for, and also how much you're willing to give. So obviously a lot of people around our age are not necessarily looking for something serious, and I get that. That's fine. But I also think that a lot of us out there are, or were, in my case, looking for something much more meaningful. And it's hard to find, amongst our age group, it's a little bit hard to find. But I think something that's extremely important is that you find somebody who doesn't just love you the way that you love them, or doesn't just love you the way that you receive love or whatever, but maybe more importantly, loves you as much as you love them, or is willing to give in or give the relationship as much as you are. And I think you guys know this about me, considering like my competitive past and everything that I've done in the past with powerlifting, bodybuilding, business, just everything that I do. It's always, at some point I make a choice that I want to devote myself to that, and I give it, a gajillion %, because that's how I am. If I want something, I want it bad, and I'm willing to work as hard as I can, or as hard as I have to make that work. And that's the way it's always been for me. And you can imagine, for something as important as a close relationship, that might apply even more so than it did for competition stuff. And that's not always the easiest thing, because I'm not trying to tell you a sob story so you feel sorry for me. That's not always the easiest thing, just because people are different. But I've been extremely lucky, and I'm extremely grateful to have somebody like Christine, who is just as much devoted as I am, or maybe even more sometimes. And I really wish that I could be more like her in that sense. And hopefully I will in the future. But all I'm saying, guys, in my long drawn out way, is that if you can find somebody, if you're looking for somebody at all, maybe you're not, but if you can find somebody who is willing to work at a relationship as hard as you are, who makes it as important as you do, who loves you the way that you do, you better hold on to them. You know, do whatever you can, do whatever you have to make it work. Anyway, on a less serious note, I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate those of you who have stuck around for so long despite not having any videos. If you want to see anything in the future, if you have any ideas, drop me a comment like I said. Also, as always, I am accepting inquiries for coaching, so just shoot me an email at the email address in the description. If you're interested in that or you want to learn more, I'll send you a voicemail back. And also, programs are still up online at the link down below. I'm also working on a new program. In the past, I've kind of made like powerlifting-based programs that might be catered or could be modified toward bodybuilding. This one that I want to write is going to be more so the opposite, where it's going to be bodybuilding based with some powerlifting mixed in. But yeah, if you're interested in something like that, or if you have any other suggestions, let me know. Like I said, appreciate you guys. See you guys next time. Peace out, bye.